Welcome to the Temple of Kriya Yoga at Moksha Yoga. I'm Marcia Sachs, Swami Adinadananda, and my topic today is your divine inheritance. I'll start with an opening prayer. May the infinite Lord of life, of love and laughter, bless you at this moment. May each cell of your being and every petal of your mind be touched, be healed, and be harmonized. May vim and vigor and vitality be yours. May love and laughter be yours. May you truly find that which you seek. And may you find that which you seek swiftly, surely, and most harmoniously. Let's chant together, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. The mantra that we chanted today was the mantra for Ganesha. Ganesha is often viewed as the god of knowledge and wisdom, and also as the remover of obstacles. And I believe that today we could use some obstacles removed. There's a full moon, and the full moon is in a square position to the planet Saturn, which symbolizes obstacles. It's also square to the planet Pluto, that symbolizes how frustrated we get with the obstacles that are blocking us. And we do this, as Swamiji pointed out, this gentle mantra that we chanted. It's almost like it's just so gently lifting away these obstacles. We don't even hardly notice that it's happening, but it's happening. And we want to be able to take all the feelings that we have about the obstacles that we're facing and bring them into a balance point, and that's what we're doing. Sometimes a Ganesh is called the consort of Buddhi. Buddhi is Buddhi. Buddhi is the goddess of wisdom, and so because Ganesh is a lover of wisdom, they call him the consort of Buddhi, because we love wisdom and knowledge. That's why we're here. It's one of the ways that we embody the divine principle, is beyond what we're seeking in life in terms of food and shelter and stability and work and the other things that we do. Those of us who are here are truly seekers of wisdom and seekers of knowledge and seekers of enlightenment. So we embody this principle of Ganesh as well. And when we're wise, we become really good problem solvers, because I believe that humans have their human side, and part of the human nature is being a really good problem solver. So it's not that life is always perfect. I'd like to believe this could happen, but it usually doesn't, that we wake up in the morning and the sun is out and the birds are chirping and everything is totally perfect throughout our day as we go through. Everybody is loving and gentle and she's saying that doesn't happen, right? It doesn't always happen. Sometimes it does. Sometimes we have a really good day, but we're not living in the realm of perfection. And the thing that we get from not living in the realm of perfection is that we become really, really good problem solvers. So no matter what happens, we have wisdom. We gain wisdom over time. When we see something new, maybe it's a difficult problem to solve, when we see something over and over again, we find all kinds of meditative, spiritual, but also very practical ways to solve our problem. This is knowledge and wisdom. So we aren't simply existing. We're seekers. We're searching for knowledge and wisdom. And we're always learning. Always learning new things, which is a very cool part of the human experience. So let's pick up the mantra one more time and just feel that the gentleness of it, the protectiveness of it, the release of it as you chant, and relax into this mantra as we chant it. Today I'm going to talk about your divine inheritance, which means talking about the parts of us that are divine, but also talking about all the good things that we have in our life. So today is going to be sort of a good things meditation, because we often see ourselves as just our physical body, our physical vehicle, but we are truly Purusha also. We're spirit. And Kriyananda talked about us being Kala Purusha. So we're spirit, but we are in a physical vehicle, in a physical universe that has a directional arrow of time that goes on and on and on forward into the future. But the most important gift, our aspect of the divine that we embody, is that we are the creative principle. So we say Aham Brahmasmi, and that's a very important mantra because it's a mantra and it's an affirmation, and it says, I am Brahma, meaning not me, but we all are. Each individual is a bit of Brahma, the creator, or the creator of the universe, or the creative principle, which means we have the creativity within us to make things happen in our lives. And we're sort of have a responsibility to that too, to make things happen in our lives. So that the bad news, I guess, is that wherever your life is at now, that's what you've created. And some people say, oh, no, I couldn't possibly have done that. I couldn't have picked those parents. I would never have done such a thing, or I would never have picked that boss, or I'd never gotten this job. Whatever it is, somehow in the way that the universe works, we've created where we are now. It might be good, it might be challenging, wherever it is. So the good news about that, once you understand how powerfully creative that you really are, is that you begin to create your future life. Right from this moment, from this very moment, you're creating your future life. And so you want to know that you have this creative power and really understand how it's impacted you, in the sense that you're here today, which is amazing and wonderful, and that in your life you've created a place and a space and a concept in your mind that has to do with seeking enlightenment, or at least relaxing and getting calm and peaceful and finding peace in your life. That's so, it's like It's like the gold at the end of the rainbow. You've already found it. You have it. It's a place of abundance that you have in your life. And it's something that you've created. I mean, it may not seem like it, but here, you've given yourself this blessed gift, this time of being here for even the short time that we have here today, to relax and be at peace and bring goodness into your life. It's a gift of time. So how do you see your life? Do you tend to see it in a more negative way, or do you see the gifts that are around you? And that's why I want to talk about counting your blessings, which is not just like a happy, cheerful Pollyanna thing to do, but it's an important thing because you want to be aware of the good things in your life. The more your mind is aware of good and goodness, that's what expands. So there's a principle in life, sort of one of these basic principles of life, and you hear it not just here at the temple, but you hear it in many different types of places that teach a positive way of thinking. And the principle is whatever your mind focuses on expands. So if you spend a part of your day thinking about your unhappiness, thinking about what's wrong in your life, or thinking about the difficulties or the obstacles that you face, that will expand to take up all that, the space in your mind space. When you start to count your blessings or think about the good things in your life, there's something amazing that happens. And you can do it. So it's not just like a phrase, it's an active principle. And it's part of the principle of creation, of being creative, which means when an obstacle arises, you find a different way of looking at it. My obstacle this week was I had to have a root canal. Right, that's always like something fun and happy, right? It's one of those things that happens to people. It happens to me sometimes. So, but what do you do with it? You go like, oh my God, I've got to have this. And I want to be honest with you. My teeth are my most valuable possessions because of the amount of money I had to pay the dentist, right? It's like there's nothing I have in my personal possessions that really cost as much as my teeth. So you can look at it in all kinds of, you can look at something like that, or it could be just anything, a project at work that has to be done, anything. But for me, I remember what Kriyananda said quite often, which is attitude is all. The attitude that you hold towards things is everything. And so I know that I have a choice when something like that comes up, something challenging or difficult, that it wasn't something that I could change. So it wasn't like a problem that I could solve. I couldn't outthink my teeth. I couldn't think and I couldn't meditate my teeth problems away, right? It wasn't something like that. It was like, okay, time is moving and it's painful. And you have to have something done to take care of it. So the problem-solving part was calling the dentist, right? But the attitude part is counting your blessings or being grateful. And so I was grateful that my dentist is a really good guy. I've been going to the same dentist for over 30 years. And so I had confidence in him, so I thought good thoughts about him. And I decided that when I went there, I was going to have a positive attitude, because I believe when you go to the doctor, you have a positive attitude. I believe that you go into any situation, you have a positive attitude towards the people there or towards the situation, that things will go better. That's just how I think about life. And so I did. I talked to the dentist about we talked about our kids and grandkids. We until my mouth got so numb, and then they started working. I couldn't talk anymore. Then I told him it was his turn to talk, and so I had a pleasant time, because the real pain in root canals is really how much your tooth hurts before you go there and they take care of it. So once they take care of it, you're fine. So I knew that, and I don't want to go too much about my dental work, but the point is that no matter what situation you go into, when you think about your blessings, that, oh my God, when my grandma was a young woman, the solution to a toothache was like to pull the tooth out, right? I mean, so you have to be grateful for progress in dentistry. You have to be, so you think about, so whatever your situation is, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Whatever your situation is, not mine specifically, but whatever your situation is, find a way to find something positive about it. Sometimes it's really difficult. But that's your challenge. That's your creative challenge, to be creative in that way. To reframe your story. Sometimes they say reframe it. Think about it. Just even ask yourself, how can I think about this differently? How can I? I thought about moving on from that. I think one of the blessings that we have in life that connects to both us being a physical human being and also to the divine is our breath, is breathing. That's our blessing that we have. It's breath. We have air, thank goodness. We have all the air we need around us. It's almost like this infinity of air. So it's an infinity of wealth. The breath sustains us. We know that in yoga that we also talk about prana, the essential life force that comes into our bodies as we breathe. And that we can use our breath as a meditation technique. And I'd like to do that now. Some of you may already know this, the technique of the watching the breath meditation. But it's a really good way to find peace. You don't need any special equipment, because you already have your breath. You take your breath with you wherever you go. And so let's close our eyes. And as you're sitting in your chair, just relax your body, but straighten your spine as best you can, like in these types of chairs. And then focus your awareness just on your breath. Don't try to control it in any way. Just watch the breath as it goes in and out of your body, in and out of your nose. Put your awareness somewhere, like as you're watching your breath, sort of hold it at the sun center, which is the point between the eyebrows and the middle of the forehead. And just be aware of your breath flowing in and out. And so the breath becomes the focus of your meditation. And you just place your mind on it. Again, you're not trying to control it in any way. But when your mind wanders away from the breath and you get caught up in your thoughts, just very gently take your awareness back to watching the breath. And we'll do that for a couple of minutes. And then gently bring yourself back from the meditation. You can open your eyes. But just be aware that this is a very easy, gentle type of meditation that you can do for a few minutes, you can do for longer, whatever is convenient for you. But the breath is like our connection with the divine. It's the prana, it's the life force coming into our body. So sometimes I like to do an affirmation entirely different from this watching the breath meditation, of thinking the affirmation that with every breath I am breathing in healing light. So close your eyes one more time. We're going to do something a little different, but I want to keep practicing with the breath because it's so important. And just imagine yourself, again, just watching your breath and your breathing. But imagining, now we're using our creativity again, we're using our imagination, that with every breath, you're breathing in healing light. But also you're saying that in your mind, with every breath, I am breathing in healing light. And you can make the light any color that you feel is a good healing light. So there's lots of wonderful colors that are healing. White is a good color. Blue is a good color, good healing color. But some people have their own golden light is a good color. Lots of good healing light. I'd really like to have you say that affirmation out loud, very gently, so that it'll start resonating in your mind and your body. Let's just say together, with every breath, I am breathing in healing light. So out loud together, with every breath, I am breathing in healing light. I really didn't hear you say that. And the reason I want you to say it vibrantly out loud is because it's an affirmation. And I want you to affirm that with every breath you're breathing in healing light, because you don't have to say that affirmation all the time. You just have to spin it every once in a while, because the affirmation is with every breath you're in healing, you're breathing in healing light. And so your breath is what's going to do it for you every time. Let's try it one more time and try to say it not super loud, but with a vibrancy. Ready? With every breath, I am breathing in healing light. Okay, in your mind, just hold that thought a couple more times. I really like that last one. You did good. You did good on that. Because it's so important to be able to ask for what you want. And so many of us need healing, whether it's on the physical level or the emotional level or on the level of our mind and the way that our thoughts work. We need that healing all the time. Let's do one more thing with breathing. And this breathing is called intensifying your aura. And this time we're going to do a deep breath, and I'll demonstrate. So you can open your eyes for 1 second if your eyes are closed. And we're just going to sit here and we're going to watch out for the person next to you, if there's somebody next to you. So we're just going to breathe, take a nice deep breath in, bring our arms over our head, and then we're going to push our arms out like this, right? So and as we're breathing in, we're going to be lifting our arms up over our head. So let's do this together. Inhale. Nice deep breath in. Put your palms out and exhale your arms out like this. And you're exhaling. And now you're going to do it where you're actually bringing up light around you. So again, whatever color light you like that you feel is healing or strengthening or purifying, whatever you like, okay? Pick that, have that in your mind now. Inhale, bringing the light up around you, palms together, and exhaling, pushing that aura out around you. just come back with your palms in your lap. But keep this technique in mind. This is a technique where you can create, again, back to our innate creativity, you can create a better personal space for yourself. Sometimes the obstacles we face are in our environment, whether it's noise from outside or people talking or difficult people. And don't, if you're in your work environment, go somewhere like the restroom, or you can do this without people seeing you do it. Like if you're in a cube farm and people are seeing your arms coming up over the cube and going out like that, maybe you don't want to do that in public, but find a space to do it so that before you go into your difficult situation, you're intensifying your aura. Before you go out in the morning into the world, you're intensifying your aura, bringing your own personal goodness and the goodness of the divine up around you to strengthen you and sustain you. Yeah. All good stuff. And another blessing that we have in our life is time. Now, some of us who are older may not appreciate that so much time has gone by, but we really do have to appreciate and be grateful for all that we've learned. So time has gone by. I think all of us who are here today know that we've learned things in our lifetime. Know that we've got more wisdom than we did when we were a kid. Kids have wonderful energy, enthusiasm, an abundance of their own creativity. But when time goes by, you start to gain wisdom. And like we were talking before about being a good problem solver, it's really amazing how many solutions that we have for the problems that we face, how much more maturity we bring to it, hopefully, and how one of the understandings that we have about time that I think is so important, and as an astrologer, I see this. This is a great understanding for me that I see all the time. But I think everybody who's gone through life understands that we have cycles of ups and downs. I think that knowing that is so critical, because if you feel that you're like in a down time or a difficult time, you know that it's temporary. All cycles in life are temporary. Sometimes the good things are temporary, sometimes the difficult things are temporary, but especially when you're at a low point and you know that if you just can hang in there and wait it out a little bit, that things will come up again, that you'll feel better. It's just like having a cold or something. You have a cold, and you have a cold, you know that you're not going to have that cold forever. You know that there's going to be a point, just because you've experienced things like that so much. There's going to be a point where things are going to get better. And so that's one of the things that we know, that with time comes a little bit more wisdom, which is what we're looking for and chanting for. But also we can find time to meditate, and taking the time to plan our meditation. And I know that sometimes I've talked to students who have a hard time bringing meditation into their life. I was talking to somebody, he's got a full-time job, he has 2 little kids, and he's going for a master's degree. And he goes like, I feel bad that I'm not meditating like I used to. And one of the things I heard Kriyananda say is that it would be really good for us, he meant like all of us, to meditate 5 times a day. And that sounds like a lot, but what he meant and what he explained is that these are short meditations, short, like maybe even a few seconds, but that to be aware throughout your day of being able to do it. So we do it simply like we're doing, like watching the breath or anything, but only the first few seconds of it, but where you pull in, you close your eyes. Don't do this while you're driving. Close your eyes, put your focus at the sun center, and take a few breaths. Focus on letting go of all the difficulties and pulling into a center point of balance. And find time during the day to do that. I mean, there's always a moment somewhere where you can pull in for a few seconds. And if you can do that, even though long meditation or longer meditation is valuable, being able to change state, changing state is like one of the most amazing and creative things that we can do. And a lot of times you can change your state by breathing in a certain way. Our breath can be a technique, watching the breath, or deep breathing, or intensifying the aura, or any of the techniques that you've learned from yoga. To do it at these, but to change from being in a tense state or a hyper state or, even the problem-solving state, and go like, I need a break, and just pull it. Even the technique of having your arms out here and bringing them here and bringing them close to your heart center is because we do it at a time that we're in meditation or at the end of our meditation or whenever you do it or here at the temple, we bring our hands together. Even just doing that is centering and can help you to change state, to change from an agitated state to a calm state. And when you practice changing from an agitated state to a calm state, you get good at it over time. So that's something that I wanted to share with you as well. And just remember that when we come into every lifetime, we have karma. And people tend, as a whole, and maybe culturally, to talk about bad karma. Something happens, you go like, oh, bad karma. But we have come into this lifetime with a ton and a half of good karma as well. And we tend just not to pay as much attention to this full supply of good karma that we have. So the way that we start to look at our good karma is just, again, sort of what I was talking about before about counting your blessings, is having that attitude of gratitude, to be grateful for the things that we have, because the gratefulness, the gratitude, focusing on gratitude, it expands that positivity in our life. So some of our good karma is our ancestors, the people who survived to give us life. So even if you're not that keen on your ancestors or your parents, these are the people that gave you life, and that's a type of good karma. To be born into life is a good karma. We have our teachers and the lineage. For those of us who are Kriya yogis, we have the Kriya lineage. Other people have wonderful teachers and lineages in our life. And so we live on the benefit of those who have gone before us, the poets, the mystics, the spiritual scientists, the writers, the gurus, and the teachers. Yeah, I mean, the lineage is a miracle, if you don't mind me talking about that. To me, that's the Kriya lineage is my good karma. You may have other types of good karma where you've met gurus and apagurus and people, or come across a book that's benefited you. Yeah, it's a type of a miraculous thing. And then there's this abundance that we have in our lives, at least for those of us here in the modern Western world. There's an abundance of scripture. There's abundance of books in general, but books about mysticism, spiritual philosophy. There's translations in every language, just about. So it's, maybe it's just me, I'm very much of a book lover, but it's like a feast that's set before you. There's books and bookstores and library, and then there's all online. Oh my gosh, just ask your phone anything. It'll give you the answer, right? But there's, if you want to learn about Ganesh or Ganesha, you can go and Google that. If you want to learn about meditation, you can find that. I mean, it's just all out there. So it's rare. There's not really any secrets. People talk about secrets, but there's secrets of mysticism. But there's just a ton stuff out there. There's so much that the challenge that we have is just to pick something and just do it. That's our challenge. But there's books, bookstores, teachers, the teachers of the past, the teachers of the present, the access to other cultures and all kinds of paths. We just have an abundance. We have an abundance of techniques. We have mantra, which is like chanting a mantra, or the spoken word, or affirmation, and because speech is creative. So be very careful with what you say. I don't want to expand on that right now because we don't have time, but in general, say positive things. Avoid saying negative things. I mean, ask for what you want. And one of the things I learned is don't complain, just ask for what you want. So that's a creative technique as well. So if it's cold in the room, don't say, oh, it's so cold in the room. Just ask the person next to you if they can close the window, all right? So ask for what you want, but watch a habit of complaining. But say positive things. Say what you do want in life. So we have mantra and yantra. Yantra is the things we look at, and tantra is bringing things into balance in a general way. So we have all these different techniques. We have all these different things that are techniques and yogas and all kinds of meditations that are available to us. And they're all imbued with the spiritual benefit of the people in the past who are passing that along to you. And then the other thing that we have in abundance is our potential for enlightenment. And enlightenment is free. You don't have to pay for a class. You don't have to do anything other than be you, be who you are, because enlightenment is something that you already have within you. It's just the meditation helps you to reveal that to yourself. It's free. And then your everyday life is your spiritual life, and we talk about this so much at the temple. And it's just one of the most important creative or spiritual concepts that you can have, because you get to work on yourself every day. Life is filled, it's abundant with opportunities for learning. And again, some of those learnings are about solving problems or difficulties that you face, but there's all kinds of things that we learn. Just even in our everyday life, there's that feeling of awe that we get from nature, and we're going to see that as the leaves change, the colors brighten our lives, even as the day gets darker. What a miracle, at least for us in the Midwest, where we have this changing of the seasons, where it's beautiful, and it's almost like the trees are on fire. They're giving us light in this time as it gets darker. So there's beautiful, wonderful opportunities for us and our fellow travelers on the path to experience the abundance of life. We're truly blessed. They have all the resources of the past and present available for us for our spiritual unfoldment. And I'm going to close with the same prayers we began with, that Kriyananda gave to us as a blessing. May the infinite Lord of life, of love, and of laughter bless us at this moment. May each cell of our being and every petal of our mind be touched, be healed, and be harmonized. May vim and vigor and vitality be yours. May love and laughter be yours. May you truly find that which you seek, and may you find that which you seek swiftly, surely, and most harmoniously. And let's chant together in conclusion the Om Shanti 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 mantra. Om. thank you all so much for being here today. Namaste.